You can call 814-299-5155. That's 814-299-5155. Call that number and leave us a voicemail. We'll play it on the show. You can also email us at ineffably-sublimepod@gmail.com. If you don't feel like talking, send it there. We'll read it on the show. Enjoy. Hey there, sports fans and concert junkies. Have you ever wanted to snag tickets for your favorite events without breaking the bank?
Well, now you can with SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the go-to app for buying tickets to live events, whether it's sports, concerts, theater, or more.
And guess what, folks? We've got an exclusive offer just for our listeners. You can use our special promo code ISPodcast to get $20 off your first purchase.
That's right, Bobs. With SeatGeek, you'll find the best deals on tickets from all over the web, all in one place.
And here's the best part. SeatGeek's got a color-coded system that makes it super easy to find the perfect deal. From dark green to red, you'll know exactly what kind of deal you're getting.
So whether you're looking for front row seats to see your favorite band or courtside tickets to catch the big game or wrestling, SeatGeek has you covered.
Don't wait any longer. Download the SeatGeek app today and use our promo code ISPodcast, all one word, all capitalized, ISPodcast, to get $20 off your first purchase.
That's ISPodcast, ISPODCAST, for $20 off. Don't miss out on unforgettable live experiences. SeatGeek, tickets made simple.
Squad, we're on the attack. DJ Mitch turning absurdity into punk rock. We dissect the absurd side, it's our claim to fame. Spuds McGamble, the Southpaw co-host with the wild name. We dive deep into the weird, no topics off limits. From bizarre news to strange conspiracies, we're committed. DJ's the Bubs, rocking the mic with style. Punches, he's the rebel with a smile. Absurdly sublime, that's what we're about. Making you laugh, we'll leave you with no doubt. Join the Sublime Squad, buckle up and enjoy the ride. We'll bring the chaos with punk rock as our guide.
Hey there, Sublime Squad. Welcome into another robust edition of Ineffably Sublime. I'm your host, Bubs, and with me, as always, is my lovely and having a wonderful day co-host, Spuds McGamble. What's going on, Spuds?
Hey, not too much. It's gonna get better now. It's
always gonna get better. That's a way to look at the silver lining, sir.
Yeah, yes. Home improvements suck.
Home ownership sucks.
Yeah. And yeah, right now everything blows, but it'll get better. The sun's out. So that's nice. I didn't get my grass cut like I wanted to yesterday, but I think with that rain that we got in the middle of the night, and then we got the sun today, I think it'll be nice little evening job for me, I believe.
Sure. Yeah, I started mowing the grass yesterday, and it started storming in the middle of me mowing.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember it's doing anything. Around what time was that? Was it in the morning or afternoon that you...
No, it was probably about 3:30.
No shit. Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah, you guys did get hit with something. We got like the little tail of it. We just got like rain and a little bit of wind.
I was just moving along. I was like, oh, it's sunny out. I'm going to go outside. And as soon as I got downstairs and went, got my shoes on, put my headphones on and opened the garage door, it was gloomier than fuck. And I was like, wow. It's like that came on so suddenly.
Yeah. Because I remember... Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I went out and started, I got the mower out and I said, I'm just going to, go for it. So I go for it. And then the sun came back out and I was like, sweet. So I'm like going and I'm like drinking my coffee, mowing the grass. And I was like, it's pretty sweet. And then like clockwork, I'm listening to a podcast, just having a good time. And out of nowhere, like my mower has like a little cup holder on the back, right? And it just
Mhm.
barely fits my coffee cup. And I just hold it because that was my first coffee of the day. I'm like, I'm just going to drink this as quickly as I can. But sometimes I put it down and I'm mowing as I'm like making big turns or going in a circle or whatever, where I need to have both my hands on the wheel.
Right.
And I turn around, and I look on the ground. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, oh shit, that's my coffee cup. Just completely spilled on the ground. And I'm like, God damn it, dude.
Nice.
And then I ran out of gas.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
so then I had to
fun.
go get the gas. And by the time I got the gas, the sun was gone again. And there was a big, giant storm cloud looming over. And I'm like, all right. So I just keep going. And then I finally get, I get my parents' yard done. And then I get my backyard done and half of my front yard done. And then I start feeling raindrops. So I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm like, I keep going and I'm speeding up and down the yard. And then, I removed my headphones for a second. And I could hear thunder, and I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
So I go and put the yard away or the mower away. And my mom's like, "Are you inside?" And I'm like, "No." I said, "I just put the mower away." And she texts me again. She's like, "Are you inside yet?" And I'm like, "It's literally been 30 seconds. No, I'm not inside." I said, "I gotta go blow off your driveway because that's important to you. It's more important than pretty much anything. And if it rains, well, that's all gonna be stuck to your driveway. So I gotta go try to blow that off real quick." So I did that, and then it started downpouring, like the second I ran into my house. So
Nice. Yeah.
didn't get it finished. She's like, "Oh, it's only going to be a short hitter." I'm like, "Yeah, but then the yard is going to be soaked. I'm not going to mow the yard if it's soaked."
Yeah, you have wet grass and it'll clump up, and no, don't even worry.
Yeah, so I said I would finish it today.
Yep. Yeah, I think it'll be a good day to finish. I don't think there's any storm supposed to be coming through today.
No, there shouldn't be.
Shouldn't be, but it is central Pennsylvania, central Pennsyltucky, as some people call it.
Damn right.
I'd love to know what I think we have talked about this before, but it seems like it's the older generation for some reason. I don't know what called the state Pennsyltucky.
I mean, I haven't heard that in a while.
It's been a long 8th grade history. Mr. Demick was the first and last person well, no, my pap used to say it too. But Mr. Demick would say, yep, it was Pennsylvania. Was it Pennsylvania history? Was what he taught. And he called it Pennsyltucky. Yeah. And Altoona was Alcatuki.
I've never heard that one.
Yeah. Alcatuki. Weird. People are weird. Throwing weird names of. It might not even been anything to it. I think that was another one of those. I think I'm getting this teacher and my pap mixed up. I feel like my pap would say that.
It really just is what it is. The origin of the term lies in the perceived similarities between parts of Pennsylvania, especially the central and western regions, and the Appalachian regions of Kentucky. These areas in Pennsylvania share cultural, economic, and demographic characteristics with rural Appalachia, such as a strong presence of blue-collar communities. So,
why? I don't. Yeah, it's weird that it's just Kentucky. You also think it'd be like West Virginia too. We could call it Pennsylvania, and then and what do you think? Well, because what Tennessee? Tennessee's higher than Kentucky, isn't it?
In what?
Pencil NSC? Pencil C? I don't know. I'm trying to think of my geography. Just trying to think of why is it specifically Kentucky and they're Appalachians?
My buddy Sean, he always gives me shit for random things, but he was talking to me about going to Pittsburgh to hang out one day, and I said, I don't get up that way very often, and he's like, "Where are you?" And I said, "Du Bois, about 2 hours." I forget what I said, northeast or whatever of you. He goes, "Oh." He goes, "How are you coming down here then?" I'm like, "Shut the fuck up." You know what I mean?
Getting very specific.
Just how you coming up here then? And I'm like, ah ha 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 ha.
Yeah, that's a fun little geographical joke that I say that once in a while too. It's borderline dad joke. I feel.
It is borderline dad joke.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's like, it is.
Anyway, folks, we're going to continue our discussion here on summer blockbusters. We've got some interesting little tidbits to add to the, I don't even know what word I was going to say, to add to the
Minutia. I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
Minutia's a bad thing, though, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't even know
I don't
what
know
that
either.
You might be the only person I've ever heard say that word.
Really?
Minutia?
Yeah, I don't even know what. Let's see.
How would you even spell it?
M-U... Oh, not menudo. Let's see. Minutia. Oh my God. M-I-N-U-T-I-A-E. The small, precise, or trivia details of something.
Okay.
The minutia of everyday life.
Wow.
Minutia. Yeah, it's spelled really weird. I feel like this is what we've done. 30 episodes, and I feel like in 28 of them I've mentioned Seinfeld, and this is where I've heard of minutia.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was the what's the Bizarro Jerry episode? Because they're talking about man hands or something. And Elaine decides she's dumping Jerry, George, and Kramer to go with the other guys, and she's tired of the same old minutia of coming into this apartment and dealing with the same minutia or something. Yeah, so that's where I've heard it. So what we'll do is, how about I hit up Sci-Fi has the 50 best blockbusters that summer has ever seen. Of course, I'm not going to go through all 50.
Why don't you go through like the top 10?
We'll go top 10. All right. And I will start with number 10, which is a little known movie as Ghostbusters. Oh my God, this makes me feel so old. 1984. I remember going to see this. I didn't realize it was in the summer though. Because we'll end up talking about, I believe I talked about this the last episode, that I'll mention my first true summer blockbuster that I remember going to see. But like I said, it's one of those, I remember seeing Ghostbusters, but I didn't realize it was in the summer. But that is number 10, which if nobody has seen Ghostbusters, you've got to see it, especially to the younger people. I'm sure everybody in the, I would assume 35 and up would have seen it.
You'd think.
You would think. And in the same year of 1984 brings our number 9 movie, Karate Kid.
Oh, yes. Fuck
yes. Yeah.
Love Karate Kid.
Great movie. Which, to the people that have not watched Cobra Kai, after you hear it from Johnny's perspective of the events of Karate Kid, you kind of almost think Danny LaRusso is a bit of a dick. He had it coming. I feel like he had it coming.
And I learned this. This came to light for me on How I Met Your Mother.
I just saw the TikTok about this here not too long ago.
Yeah, and when they brought William Zabka into the episode for Barney's birthday, and he goes on a big rant about, how that's what the Karate Kid was supposed to be, was not about Danny.
Yeah.
Great movie though. I will never forget the summer that I first watched that movie, and I beat myself up to death for never having watched it.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Good movie. Never went to the theaters to see that. That was a home movie. Like I said, I didn't realize Ghostbusters was a summer release.
I would have loved seeing Ghostbusters in theaters. That would have been such a cool moment.
I was scared like a bitch. I laid there with my head on my Graham's lap because the very beginning, the library scene.
Oh,
once
yeah.
that ghost turned into the thing, it scared the fuck out of me, and I hid. Then I would be okay, and then another ghost would pop up, and then I would hide. There it is. So let's go to number 8. This is a movie near and dear to my heart, of course, is Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 1983. Boy, early 80s had some bangers in the summer. Nothing like 1983 going to see Jedi, then 84 you got Karate Kid and Ghostbusters. That is
You're at what? Oh yeah, okay.
Sci-fi. Yeah, I scrolled all the way up. Yeah.
Hell yeah, they have. That is so. This is 83. You're right.
83. Well, and then you go to I won't hash on much Star Wars because that could take us down this whole long, big, meandering talk of that movie. So we'll skip that.
It might be foreshadowing, but that's for another show. Hint, hint.
Yeah, hint, hint. Little foreskinning. And number 7, which I still have not watched this movie from beginning to end.
Oh,
Yep, 1982 brought us E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I do not know this whole movie. It's absolutely mind-boggling to me that I've never watched this.
such
movie.
a good. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, I had
It used to like you said, it used to kind of freak me out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Just in certain ways. There's certain things that like I would think about, like I'm gonna watch that movie, and then I would remember like this one scene and be like, no, I don't want to watch that movie.
Yeah, like I always remember from the trading cards. I had all the trading cards for E.T. I had toys. I had so much E.T. stuff, but I'd never watched the movie. And I think it's that scene where he's all like shriveled up and dying, and he's like in the zippered hazmat shit.
Yeah,
And I was just like, I don't think I can handle that.
it's crazy, man. Like
Yeah.
it's such an interesting movie, and I just remember I never really like the ending. I didn't really like it. I don't know.
Man,
I get it, but just so funny. Like such an interesting. Maybe not funny, but like
not funny, haha, just funny as in.
just like weird, like
Yeah.
hijinks. You know what I mean? Like, but there is a scene that always stood out to me, and it was whenever he like when Elliot takes off school, like he fakes being sick,
Mm-hmm.
and he's home and he's teaching ET about all the different stuff, and he's like going through, he's like, oh, this is a shark, and the sharks eat the fish, and this is whatever, and then he's like going through all these action figures, and he's like, and this is Boba Fett, like, and it's just funny, like.
Yeah.
Because because later you see in what was it, episode 2 with all the ET aliens?
Yeah, no, I think it's in. Is it 2 or 1? It's in one of those 2. Yeah, you can see them in there.
Like that's
what
crazy.
The hell one is it?
And
I feel like
you know the connection between the two of them,
between the two of who?
the movies.
Other than what, Lucas and Spielberg.
Okay, so
Yeah.
this is cool. This is cool. Maybe you don't know this. Okay.
I don't think I do. That's the only thing that I know.
So there is a scene in ET when they're it's Halloween, right? And all the kids are trick or treating, and Elliot takes ET with him, and he has to dress him up. So
Right.
he puts like a sheet over his face,
Mm-hmm.
and they're walking through the suburbs of wherever they're at, California or somewhere, and there's a person that's walking by, and he's dressed as Yoda.
Okay. I do.
And ET sees this,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees it, and he watches him walk past, and he immediately looks and he goes, home, 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 the whole time, and like they have to he tries to chase him.
Really?
Yeah, and they're like, no, like, but like that's fucking weird, like, you know what I mean? And then later they put that in the movie, the Star Wars movie, and I was like, damn, like ET recognized Yoda or the species of Yoda.
Yeah. I didn't know that. I just assumed it was just because Lucas and Spielberg were friends. It's like, well, we'll throw Star Wars stuff in ET and ET stuff in Star Wars. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
No
it's
clue.
pretty crazy, and that's literally it. There's no other connection, like
Huh.
other
Well,
than like John Williams doing the score. I think John Williams did the score.
I feel like he did too.
Pretty
Can't
iconic
imagine.
score. I mean,
Yeah.
and then I remember I watched there's like another, like the director's cut. I went and saw it in theaters, so that was pretty cool that I got to see that. It was one of my favorite childhood movies. And I remember they just they took all the guns out. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh, I did hear about that. Yeah, they took guns out and put. What did they use as flashlights or
Walkie-talkies.
something? Walkie-talkies. That's what.
I was like, what the fuck?
That's so.
And then there's like a
stupid.
scene at the very beginning of the movie where they make, like in the original cut, they had E.T. just on like on a rail, like just moving through the woods, and it was just very like he just moved very straight.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this looks dumb. And then so they like added some like make it look like he was actually running,
Oh, gotcha.
and I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, the old special editions.
Yeah.
George Lucas loved those with those. Well, we had talked about that before with the original trilogy. Well, we won't dive into that, but yeah, adding the whole different things to it to spice it up a little bit.
Oh, and I feel like such a dumbass because I watched those, and those were my first.
Those are what you yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I don't want to say. So I used to watch them growing up, and I just never really paid attention. I never gave a shit.
Yeah.
I would only go to like my cousin's house, and I only watched Star Wars when I went to my cousin's house, so I just didn't care.
Uh-huh.
But I can remember when I was like really sitting down to like learn about Star Wars. I was like, I'm gonna watch these. Those were the only exposure that I had, and I thought, wow, the special effects are fucking awesome for that time. I had no idea up until the very last scene in Return of the Jedi when I saw Hayden Christensen as a Force ghost and was like, what the fuck?
How did they know? How did they?
I
How
had
did they get a
no- I
guy
was
that
like,
looked
you
just
have
like
gotta
him?
be fucking shitting me. Like, that's when I decided to look it up, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
these are additions. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like I said, I still remember those years, or it was the one year that they did the first round of special editions where they, brought them out to the movie theaters, and that me and my buddy Joe would go, and most of them were just like, oh yeah, like yeah, and then as the way went on, it was just like yeah. Then they did this newest round, and it's like no. I almost want to go back to what it looked like before.
I've never seen those cuts.
Oh, they're wild, man. Well, like I said,
I mean, I've looked at videos, but
yeah, like in A New Hope, there was no Jabba scene.
it was just a dude, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that wasn't even in the movie. That's a deleted scene.
Oh,
Yeah, in the very, very original, you don't know Jabba. Jabba's nowhere. They don't mention him. Nothing. They just all that Han talks about is just saying about that'll help him, pay back whoever. But you never hear the words Jabba at all in A New Hope.
and didn't they edit the Han shot first scene?
Yes. Yeah, because like the very, very original scene, you don't really see. You just see Han shoot him, and you feel
Right.
like you hear what the hell was his name? Greedo. Sounded like he shot, but it was very confusing. But when you're a kid, you don't really care. And even to this day, I still really don't care. I don't like how it looks now where they like computer animated his head to shift to the side. But there was no bullet shot against the wall. There was none of that.
Good old 80s drama, man.
Yeah, trying to think of what. Well, we'll save that. But there's so much. Even the scene with you said about Hayden Christensen, like the celebration at the end. There you don't see other planets. It was just a party with the Ewoks. That's all it was. That was the ending. Was one Ewok using all the different stormtrooper helmets as drums. Them singing Yub Nub or whatever it's called. And they're all hugging and high-fiving. And well, I guess they weren't high-fiving, but they're all hugging and shaking hands. That's all you see. Very simple. Yeah.
Well, I feel deprived.
You should. I
do.
feel like you should, yeah.
All right, let's see. Number 6 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Good old Indiana Jones. Never watched a single moment of these movies.
None of them.
None. Oh no, I've seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Ugh. I haven't even bothered to watch that.
That was 1981.
Yeah. Tell you what, I mean, bangers, year after year. How about that? 81, Lost Ark. 82, E.T. 83, Jedi. 84 brought you Ghostbusters and Karate Kid.
I cannot believe that Back to the Future wasn't on this list.
It's on here. It's further down.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it made the top 10.
Crazy.
Yeah, it did not make the top 10. So we will go to, well, yeah, I mean, Raiders, I feel like it still holds up pretty well, kinda. I mean, it's set in the 40s. It's set around Nazi time. So you get to see Indiana beat the shit out of some Nazis. The ending is another one of those that freaked me out because the guy's face melts off and another guy's head explodes.
Right.
It's pretty damn good. Temple of Doom, I could take it or leave it. The one that I like the most is the one that came out in, was it 89? It would be The Last Crusade. The one with him and Sean Connery. I really, really like that one. I think I like that more than Raiders of the Lost Ark. Still a good watch though. It was just on TV whenever the other night at work. One of my breaks I went in and I saw it was on. I don't remember what night it was. But yeah, it's not bad. So let's go to number 5. Back to Star Wars. Number 5 is Empire Strikes Back. That's 1980.
Great movie.
Yeah. It almost feels like they're going in order. Oh, they are. Oh, okay. They're doing a year by year thing. So this wasn't all right. So this is because I was like, man, this is just so wild that every year it was a different banger. Well, they're going year by year. I'm such an idiot. I don't know. I guess when I heard Blockbuster, I kind of thought maybe they were going like money wise, but they're not. They're just saying like what the Blockbuster of that year was. So we're going in reverse. So we probably should have went the other way. We should have started with number 1 because that's going to say what the most popular or the very first summer blockbuster was.
Yeah.
But that's all right. That's all right.
I mean, Star Wars is every Star Wars or the first trilogy is in the top 10, which is nuts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And so then, so when we got Friday the 13th.
I didn't realize that was a summer. I only watched that. The first time I watched that was just like 2 or 3 years ago.
I've never seen it.
The first Friday the 13th, it doesn't even have Jason in it. The mother's the killer. Jason's mother does all the killing. You see him like at the very end. He pops out of the lake with his head's all deformed and shit. He pops up and I'm assuming kills the lone survivor of the Camp Crystal Lake. Camp Crystal Lake. Then here's okay, so we go to number 3, which is Alien from 79. I liked Alien, but I think I liked the sequel a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, I don't really care for that. I watched some of it and was like, nope.
Yeah, it's kind of a little, I'll say a tad boring.
It is a little boring.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't.
It's not remarkably how I feel the same about fucking, what's that other, Blade Runner.
Oh, Blade Runner's trash. People try to tell me to watch that, and I've watched it, and I get bored out of my mind watching it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Always raining. It's you got the robot people. I don't know what the hell's even going on.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever indeed. Then we got number Deuce. Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. What started it all.
That's right. Bold move, I always thought.
Very bold.
I always thought it was so weird. Like, I'm just going to start with episode 4. What?
Just like how Peter Griffin says, let's start right in the middle. Start right in the middle of the whole saga.
Yeah, it's just so, like, what? Like,
Yeah.
did Family Guy ever do the sequel trilogy?
No.
Really?
Nope. Yep. They only just did the original trilogy, didn't do the prequels or the sequels.
Why?
I think just doing the originals is more than enough. I really don't even want to see them do like the prequels or this. Well, I don't even, they're definitely not going to do the sequels. I think Family Guy's soon to be off the air, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah?
Fox keeps moving their schedule because it used to always be on Sundays. Well, now they switched them to like Thursdays or something. Now they're going to be on Wednesdays, and the next season's not going to start till later. So it kind of feels like we're seeing the end of Family Guy.
Cable television's dying, man.
It pretty much is. Yeah, it's
Oh,
sad. Yeah, I mean, I really we'll catch newer ones here occasionally, and it's like, it's got some funny parts to it, but I don't know. Like seasons like with Family Guy, like felt like seasons like 5 through 10 is like my favorite era of them.
Yeah.
Somewhere around in there.
Something dark.
Oh, yeah.
side.
And those are Izzy's favorites. Izzy's favorite Family Guys are when they do the Star Wars.
So funny.
Yeah, the Star Wars. Listen to me.
The Star Wars.
The Star Wars.
All right, let's see. They got Jaws is the #1 summer blockbuster of all time.
That's what started it all. This was first ever. There really were no, because how we said about, last week's show, that they felt like summer was the dead time. Oh, Mr. Steven Spielberg thought otherwise, said, hey, I got this movie about a shark just demolishing people. Let's put this out. And that's what started it all. And like I said, and every year, just banger after banger. You got, like I said, if we scroll back, they see there's Back to the Future, number 14.
Yeah, I was just scrolling back to see what was.
We got Goonies, I didn't realize. I think Gremlins. I guess I just assumed that Gremlins came out at Christmas, since it's quote unquote a Christmas movie. Or
Oh,
at least set at Christmas.
who knows? I mean, Shazam, it came out in April, and it was set at Christmas time. So
Yeah. See, I would say when we're scrolling down through these, like I remember of all of these, I don't ever remember going to any of the Star Wars movies. Of course, I wouldn't have the first two because I was way too young. I feel like of the summer blockbusters, the first that I went to the movies to see without knowing like the impact of a summer movie was Ghostbusters. I know I went to
Right.
see that. Goonies I didn't go see. There's, Back to the Future. I remember seeing Ferris Bueller's Day Off in '86. I remember going to Du Bois to see that.
great movie.
Yep. It's another one of those I did not realize it was truly in the summer. Top Gun, '86. I went to see that in the theaters. Hey, there's RoboCop. You never saw RoboCop.
Never
No matter how
have.
no matter how many times I kept saying the word RoboCop to you, you still hadn't seen it. That was '87. I think I was trying to tell you it was like '89, didn't I?
Yeah.
So a couple years earlier than I thought. But if we go to, well, they don't have Batman in here. Batman had, why the hell do they have Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on here, but not Batman? Because that's the movie, that's like my first real remembrance of a summer blockbuster. because
I mean, maybe they're going. Maybe it didn't come out in summertime.
I know it did. I know it did. Damn it, Deej. I know it did. Let me look just to make sure. Because I remember before we went to the movies, we went to J.C. Penney's, and my mom bought me a Batman t-shirt so that me and my buddies could all wear Batman t-shirts to go to the movie theaters to see it. So it had to have been Batman release date. Oh, no, that's the Batman. Why does it keep showing me the Robert Pattinson Batman? I don't want that one.
Type in Batman 89.
Batman 89. Release date June 19th, 1989.
So
Or actually, it was
summer.
that was in LA. June 23rd. I still remember that. Like it was yesterday. We got the trading cards, there were Happy Meal toys. How about the Happy Meal shit? Did we already talk about this?
Is there some breaking news?
It's stupid breaking news. So, okay. So there's that movie that just came out with Ryan Reynolds with all the imaginary friends things.
Oh, If?
Now, wouldn't you think, like growing up, it was always the movies that were coming out would always be Happy Meal toys? Wouldn't that have been perfect for McDonald's to have the Happy Meal toys of whatever all those things were?
Uh-huh.
But you know what they were doing?
What?
Captain America.
Oh, yeah, you did bring this up.
I did talk about that. I don't remember if it was on the show or if it was at work. But I just saw a commercial here 2 weeks ago, last week, whenever. I don't know when it was. And it's this kid talking about Captain America. And they're talking...
something's up with marketing nowadays. It's different. It's not the same.
Yeah.
And you know that because, you used to be able to, just in the last 10 years, it's changed. You used to be able to walk through, let's just say Walmart.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd see, whatever movie was in theaters that was supposed to be the big thing. There was action figures, there were shirts, there was notebooks, there was everything, and McDonald's had toys, and you knew everywhere you looked there was going to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it still happens with Frozen or whatever Disney decides that they want to pay for, which is why, Captain America is in McDonald's. But it's not the same as it used to be. The marketing is way different. And the last big, gigantic marketing thing that I saw that I can remember being huge was Suicide Squad.
Wow.
That shit was everywhere.
Yeah. Was that the Will Smith Suicide Squad? The shitty one.
Yeah, it was literally everywhere. Like, there was nowhere you couldn't see that shit. Biggest marketing push I've seen in recent memory. And then just gone. Because the movie sucked. I was so pumped for that movie. When that first trailer came out, I was like, my God, this movie's going to be freaking fantastic. Then about a half hour in, I'm like, this movie is shit. But everything changed. That's like the turning point. You know what I mean? We're talking 2016. And it's just, now it's like nothing. Nonsense.
Yeah. Like this, what they're saying, this Captain America movie not even coming out till February. This makes no sense to have Happy Meal toys out there right now for a movie that we haven't even seen a trailer for or any pictures or nothing. It makes zero. Have one for, I don't know if McDonald's and Deadpool is, really, but something for the summer, not something next winter. It makes no sense. I do not get this at all, why they did this. And marketing anymore is just garbage. Like, I don't even, other than Deadpool, I don't know what summer movies are coming out. And it felt like for years, you always knew, even well before this time, But hell, usually right around the Super Bowl. That was
Yeah.
usually the time when you would first see trailers. I still remember getting my ass was blown the year that Independence Day came out. Because there was no internet. There was no, nothing that that would sneak into. We were basically, me and my buddy Don were watching the Super Bowl, and then came this trailer, and then it's like, what is this? And then when they showed the thing blowing up the Empire State Building, we were just friggin' flabbergasted. Like, this movie is going to rock. And then back then, that's all you had. That was it. You saw the trailer.
Yeah.
That was it. No, you basically just had to wait.
It's just different now. I mean, look at like Stranger Things. Their marketing campaign marketed to, now you can buy pizza. You could buy Surfer Boy pizza at the store. You know what I mean? That's mac and cheese. What the fuck? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They have their own brand of pizza now.
Do they?
Yeah, but like that's what you're getting now. It's like marketing has shifted.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's not the same as it used to be. Like, because nobody's going in stores that much.
Yeah, it's sad. It's just so sad anymore.
The world is taking an interesting turn toward something.
Yeah.
Now it's just YouTube ads and TikTok ads, and and this is where you learn of new things, but you just don't. Like Jeremy said, like he didn't even know there was a second Deadpool trailer. How you really have to be in the know now of what you like to learn about shit.
Yeah, it sucks. It kind of sucks. And there's so many of those fan made trailers where people will come up to me. DJ's done this a couple times. He's like, "Hey, did you see that new trailer for?" I think the one was for something Star Wars. I can't remember which one it was. And I was like, no. And he started to show me, and I'm like, this is a fan made one. Like this isn't real. And even going back to Jeremy and Brant, when that very first video came out of Ryan Reynolds sitting there, and then he asked, and you could see Hugh Jackman walking behind him.
Uh-huh.
And then he said, "Do you want to be in my movie or whatever?" And Jackman's like, "Yeah, whatever." Jeremy did not believe it, because we're like, Wolverine's gonna be in the next Deadpool. Jeremy's like, "No, I don't believe it." We're like, "We're pretty sure." He's like, "No, I still don't believe it." He's like, "This could all just be fan made."
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, because then Brant came running over to me, and I was like, well, "Yeah," I said, "but I don't think Jeremy believes it." I said, he might be right. This might not be real. And then we just kept looking and looking. It's like, well, you know what? This is real. And that's another thing that just ruins this stuff, is the fan-made shit that people will believe, and you don't know what's real. And
Well, the hype train used to be a massive, futuristic monorail, you know what I mean? That would take you from point A to point B, and it was always crazy. Now it's just like an old steam locomotive. Like, you know what I mean? It's, you got to keep throwing in the fuel to, get back to the future.
Yeah, Back to the Future.
So, I don't know, man. I'm with you. It's a little different. I mean, there was a huge marketing push for No Way Home.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, you're right. There was.
But it wasn't like it used to be.
Yeah.
It was different.
Yeah. Oh my God. The summer of 98. I think it was 98. The year Armageddon came out. Holy hell. You knew that movie inside and out almost. And that was even, like I said, that was before the internet. McDonald's. You'd go to McDonald's and you had if you supersized, you got the Armageddon collector's cup. Ben Affleck and Bruce Willis's mugs were all over the damn place.
Yeah, you don't get that shit anymore.
No. Nope. and that's, like I said, that's what I just remember so much, especially from McDonald's, is they would help with the hype of summer movies. And it just doesn't feel like they just don't. I don't remember. Yeah, like when was the last time? What did they do a Spider-Man thing at McDonald's? I'm trying to think of the last time McDonald's did anything or any of those. Hell, I remember Burger King did. You might not be old enough to remember. They did glasses, like drinking glasses.
Oh yeah,
of movies. You would have to pay like an extra like $2. Pizza Hut did them. The year of Batman Forever, the shitty one with Val Kilmer in it. You would go to, I feel like it was Pizza Hut, and you could get like a little glass, and it was one of those, like, 1 week it was Batman, the next week it was Riddler. And just none of these corporations do that anymore. And it blows.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking just from the past. Let's see. When was the last like real set? I mean, even back in like 2012, there wasn't anything crazy coming out of McDonald's. Looks like 2010 maybe. They had Alvin and the Chipmunks. They had Star Wars. They had How to Train Your Dragon. The Last Airbender. And Megamind. Then they had 2009. They had Avatar, Ice Age. Kung Fu Panda. 2008 they had Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Yeah,
Shrek always had a good set.
Mm-hmm.
I'm back in 2005, and there's not much, like nothing crazy was coming out. But when we were younger,
it was all the time. It was all summer. It was, get this commemorative glass, get this, you buy that, Happy Meal, you supersize, you'll get this cup, and
look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 different toys in 1992 for the year, right? But in 1991, it's like doubled. It's like 22 different toys. 1990, 22 toys. Like 89, there's like 30 of them.
Wow. That's amazing.
And that's including McDonald's branded toys. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. It sucks, man. It's just, like, part of me wants to, like, with the childhood shit, like, man, I'd love to just go back to that time again.
Sure.
But yeah, this summer, like you said, if, maybe it would have done better in the box office had they, instead of just doing trailers, hey, bring out some toys, bring out some stuff like that. But I guess, I don't know, do kids still play with toys as much as they used to? I know Izzy did some. She had a shit ton of My Little Ponies growing up.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't feel like the toy market is what it used to be. Now, with, like you said, like with social media, with all this, everything's on your computer or laptop or iPad, all that shit. Like, that just doesn't feel like people like play with toys anymore.
No.
And when they do buy toys, it's, don't take it out of the packaging because it's going to be worth more money if you leave it in the packaging. That irks me.
I mean, If has done worldwide $63 million. It's not that good.
No, that's not good at all.
But it's only been out. Hadn't even been out 10 days yet.
Yeah, see, like I said, that's that whole summer blockbuster shit. Like that, I feel like 10 years ago, that baby would have made, even if it was not all that great, well over 100 million. And
well, yeah,
we could go back to this whole, COVID kind of ruined the whole movie theater experience, it feels.
Yeah.
It just doesn't feel like people go to the movies as much.
I mean, this movie, let's see, May 17th was the release date. So June 17th is 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then plus 15 more days. So we're looking like probably July 4th-ish for a release, home release.
Yeah. That's ruined things too, I feel. Because, well, like we already talked about this. Like with Batman. Watch it in the summer. And once that baby was out of the movie theater, it's like, well, shit. Christmas time, I'll be able to watch it again. And now it's, well, what the hell is it that the Ryan Gosling movie where he's the stuntman? That movie literally just came out like 2 weeks ago. You can already get it on digital.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I turned my TV on and they're like, Fall Guy available for purchase. It's like, what?
It's been out 20 days.
Yeah, like it literally just came out and you can already buy it.
I mean, they likely have they probably have like a contingency plan.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, I mean, if it doesn't meet a certain criteria, release it digitally.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it did too. I don't think it did. I had no desire to. But then again, that's what I'd say with all these movies. I don't have a desire to go to the movie theaters, but I know a lot of people that love to go to movie theaters, and they don't, or used to love to go to movies, and they don't go as much.
Well, it's not the fault of anything else other than inflation. Like that's all it is. Nobody wants to.
Yeah, that's hurt it too. Yeah, that might be the bigger thing, but it just kind of feels like COVID fucked things up a little bit.
I mean, it did for me. It definitely did for me, but I'm sure that I haven't been to the movies in a while. You know, I think the last movie I saw in theaters might have been Doctor Strange.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, from what I remember, it was still like fucking $30 for two people to go. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous. That's why I don't go, is because I'm not, as much as I love Du Bois's new layout and everything. And I went to see Rise of Skywalker, and it's like, you better believe I'm going to get that commemorative cup, because I'm getting something out of this. If I'm going to spend this much money on this movie, and I still have the cup, that's somewhere, and it's not that great of a looking cup, but I got to have some sort of memento. And I don't know. I'd like to say that I'm going to go to the movies to see Deadpool. That's the only one I have any desire to see anytime soon.
Right.
But I feel like, I'm going to have to take out a loan if I'm going to, if it's going to, well, Izzy's not going to want to go. Izzy doesn't like going to the movies.
That's just it. Kids just don't. Like my stepdaughter, she's like, I don't like movies. And I'm like, why? She's like, I don't know. I just don't like them.
Yeah. Izzy's the same way. We watched the Barbie movie last week. She'd come out, she'd watch it a little bit, then she'd leave. It's like, don't you want to watch this? She's like, nah, not really. Like, she really doesn't sit here and watch movies. It's hard to have Autumn. Autumn doesn't have a very long attention span. So, because I even looked over at her a couple times while we were watching the movie, and she's playing on her phone. And like, just sit and watch. Like, what the days of just sitting and watching the movie are gone. You got to grab your phone and look at something. I mean, and I'm not like all high and mighty saying like, oh, I never do that, but I try my best not to. Like, usually if I do, it's because I got to look up who a person is and what else I've seen them in.
Mm-hmm.
It's in with the reason why I'm watching the movie, is why I'm looking at something on the internet. You know, I'll see somebody like, oh, what's that person's name? But yeah, people just don't have an attention span anymore for movies, I feel. That I don't blame. I mean,
it's hard to when you have content being thrown at you left and right. Like,
yeah.
You know,
Yep.
it's a digital age. You know, and movies aren't as important
No.
or as relevant anymore as they used to be.
I feel like, yeah, it feels like the 8-episode show is like the future. It feels like that's what everybody wants to watch.
But I'm okay with that. Like, it doesn't
And I'm
bother
fine
me.
with it too.
You know, I used to watch, you know, like Arrow and Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, and you're talking like, you know, let's just say the Flash had 8 seasons, and every season was 23 episodes.
Ooh, that's a lot.
You know, and then we would watch them weekly, and then you go up and you'd watch an episode, and it just like nothing happens in this episode, just a filler.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, why? And then you'd watch Daredevil, and it was a banger from episode 1 to episode 8. Every episode was relevant and fucking baller.
Yep.
And I was like, that's what everything needs to be. Like, that
Yep.
was fucking sick.
Yep.
That's why I
Feel
love, and I'm not touting it so much, but like Cobra Kai is always action-packed because it's like 6 episodes, you know what I mean? Or 7 episodes, and it's like, hell yeah! Like, ramp
Yep.
the fuck up.
Yeah, and it works out perfect because it's gonna be longer than a movie. That you can stretch out a story if you need to. You can do a little bit of a filler-ish kind of episode if you have to, which most of them you don't. Yeah, like these 8 episodes, like yeah, you said Daredevil. It never felt like there was a filler episode. There might even been like a filler half of an episode. You know, that's about as far as it went. Stranger Things, you know, episode after episode is just great.
And they even have a weirder approach. They have like the Mandalorian style approach, but Stranger Things takes it to a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mandalorian is, I appreciate that because, you know, one episode might be an hour.
Yep.
The next episode might be 30 minutes.
Yeah, you just never know.
You know, and that's a very interesting approach. And Stranger Things is the same. You know, they'll be like, here's an hour episode, here's a 45-minute episode, here's an hour episode, here's a 2-hour finale.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
cool. I mean, I'm all in, but like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, what kind of, but I don't know. When I used to say that the future of media was TV shows, and it might be, but at the same time, I think they're overdoing it.
I tend to agree. Yep.
You know, I think that the medium for the content in which you decide to make
Mm-hmm.
needs to be under very specific I don't know what word I'm looking for, but like it needs to be scrutinized in a specific manner. Like you need to be like sit down and be like, okay, this, you know, you used to say like, oh, they should make a movie out of this. Like, should they?
Yeah.
Or should it
Yeah,
be
'cause-
a series?
And that's
How much story are
yeah.
you looking to tell?
Yep. And that's how I always was. I'd always be like, oh, they just need to make a movie. And it's like, now I always lean towards now being like, you know, they need to make an 8-episode series out of this. Like, they don't need to make a movie out of this. I agree.
You know, but you need to look at it budgetly. Like, hey, I used to think Halo needed to be a movie, and I still think that it needs to be a movie, but they made it a TV series, and I'm like, I don't think that's the right medium for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it needs to be bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now that you say it that way, like I always said, like Boba Fett. All Boba Fett was going to be a movie. And it was like, well, I don't know. But then they made the series. Now I was like, well, maybe they should have done a movie with that. So, yeah, it's all in, I guess it's all in how it's done first, who does it, how it's done. If it's not done right, then it's like, well, they shouldn't have done it this way. Maybe they should have done it the other way.
Yeah.
You know, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. It was like, that probably would have been better off. Because it's another was. See, this is the opposite. They did the opposite of Daredevil and Stranger Things, where it was 8 episodes. I believe it was 8. 2 of the episodes they did not need to do at all. It's like, well, I don't even know why you did this episode. This means absolutely nothing.
For Boba Fett?
For Kenobi. And Boba Fett too. Boba Fett had a couple episodes that were filler episodes. It's like you've only got so many opportunities to tell this story. If, like you said, if this was a 23 episode series or season, like Arrow or Green Arrow and Flash, then yeah, filler episode's okay. But when your series is only 6 episodes, 8 episodes, no filler. You put out a banger week after week.
Right.
And it was just some of the Kenobi episodes were just like, oof, that was rough. Even Boba Fett.
You know, I still stand by, like, the greatest show I've seen in recent years was Peacemaker. It was so well done from left to right.
So good. I'm so glad I watched that.
Yeah, there wasn't anything wrong with it. I could not pick a single episode that I thought that didn't need to be there. Like,
yeah. Yep.
It was perfectly done in every capacity, and like that's the route that things need to take.
Yep. That, you know, right
even
there.
Loki was fucking awesome. I haven't seen season 2, but Loki was fucking awesome.
Loki was
WandaVision
really
was fucking awesome.
Loved WandaVision. Falcon and Winter Soldier was okay.
Never watched it.
Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, WandaVision started slow for me. I was, after like episode 2, I'm like, what the fuck are they doing here? Like, where are they going with this? Then it was like, all right. Now I know. Now it all makes
loved
sense.
it. I mean,
so I didn't like it at first. Then I loved it.
Now I keep hearing about them potentially making this limited series about Captain America returning the stones. Hell yeah, I'm on board.
Hell yeah, I'll watch that.
You know, you want to make a series about something that happened in a movie that like is in a little offshoot? Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
You know, I'm all game for that.
That's why I recommend the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars. We talked about this already. I feel like on last week's show or something. But the very last 4 episodes ties in with Revenge of the Sith. It's just so. It blew my mind. I don't know why. Maybe it really shouldn't have, but it did. It's just like, you know, Kenobi's like, yeah, so Anakin just killed Count Dooku, and I'm like, oh, like in the movie. Yeah. It was.
Well, you know, that reminds me too. Going back to Boba Fett, in the middle of Boba Fett, they had 2 backdoor episodes of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Where Boba Fett wasn't even fucking in the episode.
No. It's almost like they were making the show, they're like, oof, this is going to be possible hot garbage. We better throw the Mandalorian in here somewhere.
Yeah, and I was like, hell yes, like Mandalorian season 2.4. Like,
Yep.
I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, in all honesty, those were probably my favorite Boba Fett episodes, were the ones where the poor bastard wasn't even in it.
Yeah, they
Boba Fett was one of those series where it was like it had some cool moments, but that's it. It's like just pull that 2 minutes from this episode, a minute from this episode, and then I'll watch that. I'm not gonna go back and rewatch all of it.
You know, I don't know, man. They probably should have just left well enough alone. He was a fan favorite up until that now, and now everyone's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Maybe we didn't need to know what happened to them. So I don't know. Well, let's go to some movie tropes.
Ooh, I love a good trope. I had to Google what
some-
trope meant before.
These are 10 movie tropes that audiences could do without.
That they are.
So
As
see
this moment of silence was my fault. I was in the wrong.
no, you're good.
This is from our buddies at Screen Rant.
Green Rant.
Yes. Do we want to tell them what a movie trope is to people that might not know the definition of a trope? Somebody might be thinking like when you said it to me, you're like movie trope, and I'm like, a movie what? like what is a movie? I guess we could just talk about. No, I guess it just goes right into these. Explain to you're a better wordsman more than I am.
Let's see. How can I describe it?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of. I didn't want to put you on the spot there, but
Here, hold on. I'll get a good one.
so
Let's see. Okay, a movie trope is a common or recurring theme, motif, or element that is widely recognized and often used in films. These include specific character types, plot devices, cliches, or stylistic conventions that audiences are familiar with. Tropes can serve as shorthand to convey particular ideas or emotions quickly, making it easier for viewers to understand and engage with the story. While tropes can sometimes be seen as predictable or unoriginal, they can also be used creatively to subvert expectations or add depth to a narrative. Examples include the reluctant hero or the damsel in distress or the mentor style figure.
there we
So,
go.
That
Yep.
being said, number one on the list is characters being unable to use phones or cell phones. It says, once upon a time, one of the worst horror movie tropes was victims finding their phone lines cut, ensuring that they could not call for help. As the decades progressed, the use of landline phones diminished significantly, and screenwriters moved on to placing their characters in dead zones, quote unquote, so they couldn't escape their situation, like in the movie The Hills Have Eyes.
I heard
However,
that's
cell
a
phones are...
freaky movie.
Yeah, I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. It says, however, cell phones are considerably more reliable today than they were a few years ago. Since every character can be expected to have a phone and service is much easier to find, it's getting less and less likely that a person in danger would not be able to contact help. So now they just resort to your phone's dead.
Yep. Yeah.
It's dying.
Yeah, that always happened before cell phones. It was they pick like, oh, I'm gonna call the police. They pick up the phone. Oh, the phone line's out.
Do you still have a landline phone?
I do not.
You don't? Okay.
No.
It's funny. I didn't have one for years. My parents got rid of theirs, and then one day I got signed up for this is before I lived here, but when I was still allowed to have Comcast, I signed up for their triple play package, and I thought,
okay.
I'll plug my phone in the phone line. I didn't even have that shit plugged in for 10 seconds, and it rang, and it was a telemarketer, and I was like, nope, not even kidding. 10
Yeah.
fucking seconds. I plug it in, and it rings.
It was like
I'm
an
like,
alarm went
what?
off to the telemarketers.
So I answered it. It was just like, "Hello, would you?" And I was like, "No." I immediately unplugged it. I was like, "I'm not. We're done."
The nostalgia of the hanging up on somebody, like slamming the phone, like when you're mad, is now gone. 'Cause how could you
of course.
angrily shut, with a cell phone? I'm angrily gonna finger my phone here off. Slamming the phone used to just be awesome to be able to do that. You got your point across like rather easily. It's like, yeah, well, fuck you. Bang, you slam it. Now you're like, yeah, well, fuck you. And then you're like, push the button. I mean, you can still throw
My favorite was whenever they call you right back. Did you just hang up on me? Be like, I don't know. Did it sound like this? Boom.
Oh, I had one guy at work. He was such a dick. I would piss him off because I'd make him do something, and he would be on his cell phone, and he would hang up on me. And you clearly know on your cell phone when you hang up on somebody. And then I'd call him back. I'm like, you did not just hang up on me, did you? He's like, no, I was in a bad area, and the phone line went out, or the signal went out. I'm like, you're full of shit. I'm like, I know you hung up on me. Oh, that used to irk the shit out of me.
You want to know the secret now? If you want to do that without making it, with being inconspicuous.
No. Yes, I do want to know.
Airplane mode.
Oh.
Just mid call, just throw your phone into airplane mode.
Oh.
It'll say call lost or call failed.
Oh, that's cool. Well, now I know. I've never had a reason to hang up on anybody recently, so.
Yeah, I don't really do that either.
Yeah. So yeah, that is a trope that is rather overused. Well, even the picture here they show it of this girl. You always stick your phone up in the air, like, oh, I got no signal. Oh.
I used to turn my phone upside down.
Really? Did that really help?
Try it now. Try it right now. Put your phone upside down. You usually you gain like another bar usually.
Well, motherfucker, I did gain a bar.
I told you.
Yeah, that's so weird. How in the
Isn't that
hell? Because I'm at 2 and I flip it and then I go to 3.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know. And if you put it back over, you lose your bar.
Yeah, it's back down to 2. The hell?
I told you, man. It's so nuts.
That is amazing. Oh.
I used to, if I couldn't get a message to send out, I would just flip my phone upside down and it would just send. So fucking weird.
That is weird. So, another trope. Here's number 2. Villains attacking one at a time.
I love this one. It's so fucking retarded.
Even when audiences are rooting for the protagonist, it can be frustrating to see villains that don't seem to be trying very hard. Scenes that show multiple villains or henchmen fighting a protagonist at once, such as in The Matrix, will often show a bad guy politely waiting to throw their punch until the good guy has successfully deflected the other villain's attack. The Matrix is a great apocalyptic movie, but the Agent Smith clones would have easily been able to overtake their victim had it been a real fight and not one stage to see the good guy walk away victorious. That is very... I've noticed that they're trying their best to kind of have the other guys in the background like stunned or something, but it's still not working.
Yeah, and it happens a lot with kung fu movies too.
Mm-hmm.
Just everybody just waiting around.
Yep.
Very strange.
Because I think it goes back to Daredevil. I feel like there was one time I really focused on the guys in the background to see what they were doing. And yeah, it was one of those they would be like grabbing their knee, or they're shaking their head like as if they're concussed or something. And then they're like, oh, okay, all right, now I'm back to it. Now I'm good. And then Daredevil whips them again.
The one scene that does it only half the time was the what is it? The warehouse scene, the infamous warehouse scene in what was it? Batman vs Superman.
Batman, yes, that's a great scene.
It is a great scene.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's like that. And the same thing happens in games too. Very rarely, if you take Arkham Asylum or Spider-Man, similar engines.
Yep.
The villains, they wait their turn.
Yep.
What the fuck?
It's an ego thing. They want to be the one to knock the guy out. We're not all going to attack at the same time. Where's the glory in that?
Sometimes you can be fighting one guy and the guy behind you might just hit you in the head with a crowbar and that'll be the one that kills you. God damn it, dude! I got too close to the other guy. Fuck. All right, another one here is finding spare car keys in the sun visor or in the tire well.
Yeah.
In real life, if real life were anything like movies, it would be absurdly easy to steal a car. In the film universe, everyone keeps a spare set of car keys tucked behind the visor or hidden somewhere around one of the tires. In action movies like The Terminator, the characters need only reach in the universal hiding place to drive away with their new car.
That happens a lot. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's there's no key in the ignition. Oh, let's look at this. Never in my life have I ever put my keys in my sun visor.
No, never.
even before automatic car locks and shit. That's the last place I would put my frickin' car keys, would be in my visor. But you know what? As I'm saying this out loud, I remember my stepdad would put his keys to his truck in his sun visor. Holy hell.
I mean, it has to come from somewhere.
Yes.
But still, it's weird.
But in movies, yeah. Wow.
It says this trope has perplexed audiences who agreed that they had never known anyone to conceal their keys in these hiding places in real life. This seems especially strange in urban settings, which are often featured in these films. So
True. I always keep forgetting that there's more to this story. I interrupt your reading.
Oh, you're fine. You're good.
I read it and then I see the video clip and then I just assume that's the end of that trope that we're talking about. But yeah, my stepdad used to always keep his key when we lived out in the woods too. So we didn't have to worry about anybody coming and stealing our vehicles.
But what it's done is ruined the ability to be able to do that.
Yeah, you can't do it anymore.
You know what I
It's
mean?
like
'Cause
all
people,
these-
it's not like you can't just like look inside the car and be like, no keys. Probably not in the visor though, and then you just go away from it. You're just gonna open the fucking door and be like, check the visor. Like,
Yep.
oh,
Or yeah,
there's the
reach
keys.
under. Yep, reach under the wheel well. Like, yep, look at that. There's the key right there. I'd
So
never
bizarre.
been able to do that. I remember I think we did have a magnet like to put one, but I never used it. I felt like it'd take with just like one big bump, and the fucking key would be gone.
Yeah. You know, my last 3 cars, I haven't had a spare key, so I didn't have to worry about it.
that's
I
right.
got to keep track of that shit.
Yeah.
Until
You
now, I figured it out. Now I bought the
You-
system.
You do, yeah. You know how to do it now, and now I may end up doing it here for my one vehicle because I have
You
my
should.
Escape. I don't have a spare.
Give it a go.
I might. All right, so on to the next one. Unlimited ammunition. In the Guillermo del Toro movie Hellboy, ooh, the Titlore?
Titlore.
Titlore. Your
Titlore.
Titlore character uses his trusted gun, the Samaritan. I can say Samaritan, but I can't say Titlore. Titular? Is that how you say it?
Yeah, the titular.
What the hell
character.
makes the character titular?
He's Hellboy.
So Hellboy's titular?
Yeah.
But I still don't know what titular means.
Okay. Hellboy is the
Yeah.
name of the movie,
Yeah,
otherwise known as the title of the movie.
yeah.
So the titular character, named
Oh.
after the tittle.
So that's what Titler's titular character is.
So
The
it'd be
name of
like in Ghostbusters, if there was a character named Ghostbuster,
He'd be the titular.
character.
Oh, that's dumb.
So the Ghostbusters are the titular characters.
So John Wick. John
the
Wick is
titular
the
character.
titular is the titular character.
Correct.
All right.
This
So
is the way of the titlore.
yeah, it is a very. I don't like that word. So he uses his trusted gun, the Samaritan, to fire endless rounds at enemies, despite the weapons only being capable of holding 4 bullets. While he is seen reloading the weapon from time to time, it is typically done for dramatic effect, and certainly less often than every 4 shots. This is done frequently in movies, as stopping to reload as often as realistically necessary might distract from the action. However, when movies combine this with the additional cliche of heroes running out of ammo just as they are about to take the finishing shot, it can become a little laughable. I feel like
yeah.
I feel like back to John Wick. I feel like John Wick has made the unlimited ammo thing he always runs out of ammo. That's what I'm trying to say. In all of his movies, it seems super realistic when it comes to ammunition.
I mean, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've
But
taken a little bit more notice to it, but
Yeah.
I always thought that Rick Grimes, there's no way he had enough ammo. Like,
Oh no, Rick Grimes always ran. It should have always been out. The Expendables movies,
oh my God.
those are so ridiculously cheesy, and yeah, like those guns held like 800 rounds of ammo. Like they never ran out. But
So
like
wild.
I said, I feel like John Wick has put the kibosh to that. At least he did. It's not going to stop other movies from doing it. But that's one thing. I think that's one thing that I really like about those movies is go bang 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 bang. And you see him reload, and he punches a guy as he's reloading, and the shit that the choreography in those John Wick movies are just unbelievably amazing. I love everything
it's
about those.
All of it is part of the suspension of disbelief. Like, if you can believe that a shark has bones, then you can believe that the gun has unlimited ammo.
Absolutely. Without a doubt.
So
I mean-
the next one,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I don't really think I was gonna. I don't think I had anything really. I think it was gonna be one of those. I was just gonna be like, yeah, okay. Pretty much.
All right,
what
the
I
next
just
one
did
is
now.
poorly lit horror movies. The main objective of a horror movie is to manipulate audiences into experiencing the fear of a situation that they are not actually in. If the film has done its job, the viewers' hearts will be racing, their palms sweating, knees weak, and
Yeah.
Jesus, and they will jump scream at the right moments. Dark lighting in films that restricts what the audiences can see is an effective way to introduce jump scares, since they are already straining to see what's going on. However, one horror movie after another has been constant strain on the eyes. Audiences have begun to tire of it.
If I watched horror movies, I might agree with this, but I don't watch any, so
Oh,
I know what the hell was. Oh, it was the last episode of Game of Thrones, or one of the last episodes. Everyone bitched about it because it was too dark, like literally dark, like they could not see anything.
yeah.
There was something else that just came out too. People were bitching about. They're like, we had to turn the brightness on our TV up because we couldn't see what the hell was going on. Maybe it was something horror related. And yeah, and the older you get, like my eyes are just not what they used to be. And I feel like I'm always squinting because it's just not bright enough.
Oh, and tis the way, sir.
Tis. Oh, we're going to keep going into horror movies, apparently. So next is, quote unquote, splitting up in horror movies. Horror movies going back as far as House on Haunted Hill from 1959 have seen a group of desperate protagonists split up in an effort to cover more ground. This ensures that the group will be picked off one at a time, drawing out the drama. However, this plan has never seemed practical. As the years have gone on, this trope has been made fun of in movies like Scooby-Doo, where it is acknowledged that it is safer to stay together, but everyone ultimately ends up splitting up anyway. Yeah, splitting up is so stupid.
It is funny because that happens all the time in the original Scooby-Doo.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and then in the movie, they said, like, are you sure we should split up? Like, it works.
I still love, they pop this commercial out almost, I think it's like every year for Halloween. Is it Geico? Where it's the 4 kids running from a house?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. And they're like, well, let's run here. And the girl like, why can't we just go in the running car? And the guy's like, are you crazy?
That's exactly what they'd expect. Let's go hide behind them. Let's go hide behind them chainsaws.
The chainsaws. I love that commercial.
I watched the
that?
movie. There's a movie that came out. It's called Fear Incorporated. It was
Okay.
so funny. It was like a satire of a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like Scream, or not Scream, but Scream is kind of a satire in and of itself. Like Scary Movie. It wasn't like that.
Okay.
It was just like a bunch of people were like, hey, we're looking for like the world's scariest experience, and like, yeah, we'll come to your house and fuck with you real bad. You know what I mean? And it was like pretty cool, but it was kind of like that. Like there was a guy who was just like, yeah, I get it. The chainsaws, the fucking lights, all that shit. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, it sounds funny.
It
I like a
starred,
good spoof.
It starred Topher Grace. It was,
Oh, Topher.
yeah, it was interesting. Or no, maybe it wasn't Topher Grace.
Oh, you lied to me.
I thought it was. It was some other guy from a different sitcom.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure it was still funny. There's not, like I said, there's nothing like a good spoof movie. They haven't made any good ones in a long.
I heard they're
time.
making another one. I heard they're making another scary movie.
Oh, I like the first. I remember the first Scary Movie. I know that was funny. I didn't watch any of the ones like it got to the point where like what Charlie Sheen was in 1 or 2 of them. I didn't watch any of those. I think I watched like the first 2
Couple,
maybe. I mean, I don't know what to feel about them redoing Naked Gun.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Liam Neeson.
Is Naked Gun a spoof movie?
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a spoof. It's just like a spoof of like not any movie in particular.
Like James Bond or something?
Yeah, it's nothing like that. It's just like a spoof of just like cop movies, but nothing like no specific movie. Not like Scary Movie where it picks on Scream and all that other stuff. I don't feel Naked Gun really did any. The later ones, the more you go on to like the third Naked Gun, they make fun of it was a movie called Escape from Alcatraz that had Clint Eastwood in it.
Okay.
They did a little spoof of that in there. So there's like little bits here and there. But Naked Gun movies, I could watch those all day long.
Hell yeah. I need to give them a shot.
You do. Big time.
All right.
Big time.
Who's reading the next one? Is it?
It is you.
All right. The next one is Leaving Breakfast Untouched, which we briefly talked about off the air.
Yeah.
When a film wants to show a busy family getting ready for their day, they will often be the mother making everyone a breakfast that is doomed to go uneaten. A table may be covered in scrambled eggs, pancakes, sausage, but a distracted teen is likely to only grab a slice of toast before running out the door. As often as this is seen in movies, it would seem as if every family has access to huge breakfasts every morning and that they are too busy to even eat them. Instead, people on Reddit confess that their mornings were typically cereal and toast and that this trope is nowhere near reality.
Nowhere near it. Yep. That always cracked me up. And it's always like the kids will run in and then the dad's in a suit and he like grabs like one piece of toast and then he kisses the wife on the cheek, and then she's just standing there nonchalantly, nothing like, no. You motherfuckers, I just spent the last 2 hours cooking all this. Sit your asses down and eat something. You don't see that. You just see, nope, no time. Dad's got to go to work. Kids are going to school.
Realistically, that mother should have fucking known, like, my family's got a busy day ahead of them.
Yeah.
And instead, like, I'm going to make them a nutritious breakfast, but...
Yeah.
I don't know. That's fucking weird.
Yeah, realistically, it would have been, like, my mom would have been like, just throwing a Pop-Tart at me. Here, eat that. Or I'd be like, or if I would say, like, in the morning, I want scrambled eggs, hey, you better get up early and make them. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah,
that's
fuck
wild.
you, buddy. Yeah. All right, so next, not looking at the road while driving. In most cases, the actor sitting in the driver's seat of a car during a movie is not actually driving. The vehicle is stationary, surrounded by green screens, and the actor pretends to be in control. While the effect is usually convincing enough, even the best actors make it clear that they are not paying attention to the supposed road. Audiences have found it frustrating to see actors looking at their passengers for several long seconds before returning their gaze, to the road. While this is done comically in movies like Dumb and Dumber, there are several action films where the character would easily be in a crash if they were really behind the wheel. Going back to Walking Dead, it felt like anytime that they were in the car, they just made eye contact with each other the whole time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they had a little bit less to worry about, but...
Yeah, that's true. And the other thing that drives me nuts when they talk about driving in movies is they need to get their car aligned, evidently. Every car needs to get aligned because they're always moving the steering wheel back and forth. It's like, we know if you're going down a straight, you never see them just holding onto the steering wheel. Or you never see them like actually make a turn. It's jerking it. They're just jerking it. They're just, you can't see me doing the motion right now, but I'm moving the steering wheel back and forth. They always do that, and it drives me nuts.
I agree.
Well, and the other thing,
it's fucking weird.
Every vehicle in every movie, every TV show has horrible sounding brakes. Have you noticed that? Every time a car stops, you hear the brake screeching. It's like, fix your goddamn
I never really
brakes.
pay attention.
Oh,
That's funny.
Pay attention. Hopefully it's not on. I'm assuming it's not on here. But that has always driven me nuts. And we've talked about this before. We just talked about this the other night at work. How when you're driving at night, the roads are always wet. So you always got that. Then you've got anytime they stop. You watch any movie when a car stops, their brakes always screech.
That's fucking weird.
Every time. Every movie, every show.
Interesting.
I don't think I've ever seen a movie where a car has stopped and it just stops. It's always, right at the end there. And then, like I said, then they're jerking it while they're driving. They're jerking their steering wheel while they're driving, even if they're going a straight stretch. I think that's all I got for the vehicles. I think I'm
interesting.
good now.
I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that.
Please do.
All right. Plots based around a misunderstanding. Romantic comedies are especially guilty of making their central conflict revolve around a big misunderstanding. In The Wedding Singer, Julia shows up at Robbie's house to confess her feelings, only to find his ex-fiancée wearing nothing but one of his t-shirts. Assuming they had gotten back together, Julia takes off to marry somebody else. This leaves audiences in suspense, waiting for the characters to finally communicate and realize that things weren't as they seemed. However, after several years of this rom-com trope being overused, the suspense is significantly worn off. Everyone knows that they will figure it out, and it has become annoying to wait for them to finally talk like adults. So, yeah, I got nothing else on that one. That's pretty self-explanatory.
Very yeah. And for them to have an Adam Sandler movie as a example, you get the hell out of here. Those are the most juvenile, simple movies. Even though I did like Wedding Singer. That's right up there with one of my favorite Sandler movies is The Wedding Singer.
Your hate for Adam Sandler is something.
And that's the thing though. I don't hate Adam Sandler. I just hate his movies. I don't understand. I don't get it. But like I said, I like some of his stuff and I like him. He seems like a really down-to-earth guy. It's really more of those stupid, goddamn, fucking, oh my God, I can't remember the name of the movies now with him and Grown Ups. The Grown Up movies are the dumbest things I've ever watched in my life. I could think of anything that I would watch before those, but those two are just so stupid. I mean, I didn't even crack a smile through those things.
Listen, so there's this it's older, but it's called an Adam Sandler movie generator.
Okay.
And it just generates random Adam Sandler plots. And me and my buddy Nate used to do it all the time, and they're all hilarious.
Oh.
But here's just 3 of the best ones.
Okay.
All right, it says, if you can't wait for the next 4 exclusive Adam Sandler films that he'll be making for Netflix, not to worry. This random Adam Sandler movie generator will fill your Sandler void. The first movie is called Fabulous Crime. This is Fabulous Crime is fighting the law and unleashing the excitement. Adam Sandler is a greedy burglar, but one day he realizes that the stories he's telling come to life. He becomes a hairstylist and he fools around until he falls in love with his childhood friend. He pulls himself together and emerges as a better person.
I feel like that's about 5 of his movies right there.
The next one, and you'll see a theme here. The next one's called Spooky Nitwit. Adam Sandler is a foolhardy nitwit, but one day he realizes that he is a ghost. He exploits this for his own good, and he fools around until he falls in love with his childhood best friend.
Jeez.
He pulls himself together, and he emerges as a better person.
Feels like the last 3 sentences you say all are the same. All the same. Wow.
Wow. So there's 2 more here. This next one's called Orgasmic Hockey. Okay, Adam Sandler is a straight hockey player, but one day he realizes that he is exceptionally talented at stimulating orgasms. He stages a civil war, and he fools around until he realizes that a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. He then pulls himself together and emerges as a better person. All right, the last one is called Royal Firefighting. Adam Sandler is a kind-hearted firefighter, but one day he realizes that he is the heir to the British throne. He becomes a loan shark, and he fools around until he falls in love with a girl. And guess what?
He doesn't pull himself around, or he pulls him. What do you say?
Yeah. So he falls in love with the girls next door, and guess what? He then pulls himself together and emerges as a better person.
Oh my God!
So there you have it, the Adam Sandler movie generator.
Oh man, woo! That's fantastic. And more than well, I just saw he was on one of these sports shows that I just watched, and he's getting ready to write for Happy Gilmore 2. He's starting to write a script for that.
I'm actually pretty excited for that movie. I
mean, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I'll wait. I mean, it does feel like it could be something. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know.
It's all in the hips, bro.
It is?
All right, let's read. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All in the hips, chubs. All right, let's read the
all
last
right.
one.
Uh-oh. Oh, shit. You might have to... Hold on a second. I went all the way to the goddamn beginning.
Kept happening to me, too.
Yeah, why the hell does it do that? Okay, here it is. A character not explaining what happened. Whenever the miscommunication trope occurs, it is often followed by a character being infuriatingly slow to explain what actually happened, what had actually happened. For example, in movies like 10 Things I Hate About You, which is a good movie, all the characters had to do was immediately explain that while their relationship started because of a bet or a deal, they had developed real feelings. Instead, the movie will often show a montage of the characters being heartbroken, backed by a song that shows how much the couple misses each other. This has left audiences impatiently waiting for the pair to just explain their sides of the story, get back together, just kiss already.
Right,
Yeah,
so they fool around and they emerge as a better person.
They pulled themselves together. He told her what he did. She got mad. They pulled themselves together.
And they emerge as a better person.
Yeah. That's a good movie. 10 Things I Hate About You. I don't know if you ever watched it or not.
I've never watched it.
It's surprisingly good. It's got, you can see the picture there. It's got Heath Ledger in it. Got, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He's in there. The female lead is Julia Stiles. Is her name?
Yes.
Yeah. It's a surprisingly good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it back when it first was out. I haven't watched it, of course, in a long time, but it's a very good. What's the other one? Because it's like your high school movies. What's it? Can't Hardly Wait. Do you ever see that one with Jennifer Love Hewitt?
Yes.
I like that one too.
Hold on, I just did the funniest fucking thing ever. You're gonna laugh so hard at this.
I'm sure.
I just asked ChatGPT to generate me a generic Adam Sandler movie.
Oh my God, he's gonna pull himself together, isn't he?
It's pretty funny, but all right. So the movie is called Second Chance Steve. All right. The plot is Steve, Adam Sandler. He's a middle-aged, laid-back guy who works a dead-end job at a small-town car wash. He spends his days joking around with his quirky coworkers and avoiding any real responsibility. Despite his lack of ambition, Steve is well-liked for his good humor and easygoing nature. One day, Steve's high school sweetheart, Lisa, played by Drew Barrymore,
of course,
returns to town. She's now a successful businesswoman, having made a name for herself in the big city. However, she's come back to take care of her ailing father and possibly save his struggling family business, a beloved local diner. Steve, realizing that he has feelings for Lisa, or still has feelings for Lisa, says it's time to get his life together with his help from his best friend, Doug, played by Kevin James.
Kevin James. Ah, see, look at that. I knew who it was even before.
And his eccentric mentor figure, Uncle Frank, played by
Steve Buscemi.
Oh no, Rob Schneider.
Oh, that was gonna be my third guess because I was gonna go Buscemi, then David Spade, then Schneider.
Gotcha. All right, so
Yeah.
Steve embarks on a journey of self-improvement. So there he is. He fooled around. Now he's pulling himself together. Along the way, he encounters a series of comedic adventures, from attempting to learn the ropes of the diner business to hilariously failing at various self-help schemes. As Steve works to prove himself to Lisa and the community, he discovers hidden talent and a newfound sense of purpose. Meanwhile, Lisa begins to see the charming, kind-hearted man Steve has become, rather than the slacker that she remembered. It says, in a climactic scene, Steve organizes a town-wide event to save the diner, rallying the community, showcasing his growth and determination. Despite some humorous setbacks, the event is a success, and he wins Lisa's heart. The movie ends with Steve taking over the diner, finding fulfillment in his work and relationships, and finally embracing adulthood with a signature humor and heart.
That sounds so much like a Sandler movie.
Oh, I know. So Lisa, Drew Barrymore, Doug, Kevin James, Uncle Frank, Rob Schneider, Mr. Thompson, the grumpy, lovable regular at the diner, played by Steve Buscemi.
I told ya, it's the same motherfucking people. It's Chris Rock. I'm sure Chris Rock is going to be.
Well,
in
and
it.
then it says Mrs. Jenkins. She's played
Maya
by
Rudolph. Am I right?
You're right.
I told you, it's the same goddamn people.
Hey, wait. More supporting cast.
Let's see. Okay, Kevin Nealon is in it.
Hold on. All right, Eddie, Steve's cousin, who runs a failing lawn care business, played by
David Spade.
David Spade.
I'm fucking Adam Sandler. I can be Adam Sandler.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Rita, the tough but caring diner chef who becomes an unexpected ally for Steve, played by, I don't know if you're going to get this one.
I'm trying to think of other women that have been. I don't think I'm going to get this one.
Salma Hayek.
Son of a bitch.
All right,
That makes
Phil,
sense.
the imposing but good-hearted gym owner.
Shaquille O'Neal.
Oh, no, Terry Crews.
Oh, okay.
The town gossip and diner regular.
Isn't what's that dude's name? Nick Swardson. Isn't he? Is he going to be in it somewhere?
It's a female.
Oh, it's a female. Trying to think of other females that have been in Sandler movies. Jennifer Aniston.
Ooh, no, Jane Lynch, it says.
Jane Lynch. Who's that? Oh, Jane Lynch. Okay.
It's weird. Now it's getting even stranger. Like Christopher Walken, Anna Faris, Jonah Hill.
Oh, yeah, that wouldn't.
Tina
I don't see
Fey.
Tina Fey in a Sandler movie.
Yeah, I think we're out of it. Now it's just generating random bullshit, but that was pretty fucking Maya Rudolph. What a fucking guess, dude. I didn't know. I think you were going to get that.
What was that? David Spade and Maya Rudolph. I got right on the nose. That is.
Oh, yeah. I
awesome.
should have had you guess with Doug.
Yeah.
That's fucking funny.
And I knew Steve Buscemi was going to be in it. Yeah, just wrong character. Like I said, it's the same damn people. It's the same. Like Chris Rock is gonna be in it somewhere too at some point.
They always have Drew Barrymore.
Yep, Drew Barrymore. It seems like it's Barrymore or Jennifer Aniston is always going to be the female lead. I guess Hayek was in the Grown Ups movies. But yeah, it seems like Drew Barrymore is. I think that's like the classic. That's who everybody wants to be the female lead in the Sandler movie. Because of their like chemistry in The Wedding Singer. That was a great movie, though. I'm
And
for
50
much
First
Sandler
Dates.
hate. I didn't like 50 First Dates. I thought that was stupid.
Oh, I liked it.
It
One
had
of
some
my
funny
babies.
parts to it. It had funny parts, but like I said, I feel like Wedding Singer, Big Daddy, Anger Management, I think, are my 3 favorite Sandler movies.
I like Anger Management. That's good.
I very much liked Anger Management. So it's not like like I said, it's not. I don't hate Sandler. It's just some of those movies are just so bad that I can't look past it.
Right.
So I'll always mildly scoff at it when anyone brings up Adam Sandler.
That's funny. So Brett left us some voicemails, and it was about movies. I guess he said don't play these on the show.
Okay.
But he was talking about like the first one I can't read. There's no transcription available, and it's 3 minutes long.
Damn, Brett.
I know. The next one is a minute long. And he said, so I'll read this, but I don't really know what he's trying to say.
Okay.
He said to continue the gimmicks versus DVD was like it was to give maybe 2, and I might be wrong, but 2 or 3 viewings and it was gone. For DVD, you could keep it as long as you owned it, and I was there for DVD. Wait, maybe I need to listen to these. And he said Malcolm Jamal Warner was on Community.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he did play Shirley's brother. That's crazy. Who's on there? Malcolm Jamal Warner were caused me sweaters. I don't know. I need to listen to these, I guess.
Yeah.
Then he left another one. He said, I forgot one more thing. Don't read these.
Tough shit, Brett. We're reading them.
Because he goes, or don't play these on there, but at least the phone was actually in the movie on Judas Priest. I don't know what he's talking about. High Fidelity?
High Fidelity, okay. That was
John Cusack.
John Cusack. Yeah, and Jack Black's in that. I
But
never really
Judas
watched that
Priest-
movie.
Yeah, I never did either.
Judas Priest.
But he's probably the last thing I've seen it from. But yeah, the Huxtable wearing the cozy sweaters on Community.
So
Interesting.
I think he's saying cozy sweaters. They're saying Cosby. He's saying Cosby.
Cosby sweaters, yeah.
Yeah, he's saying Cosby sweaters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and check that out.
Yeah.
I'll re-listen to the. Like I said, there's a 3-minute voicemail that didn't transcribe any words, so I don't know what he was saying.
Well, we appreciate you, Jake. We love you.
I'm just confused. Every time you leave us a voicemail, Brett, you're just like, don't put these on the show. Okay. I don't
We
know.
are. But we
We
are.
appreciate the
Sorry.
feedback, though.
Yeah.
And I also should mention Ryan Pape. He got back to us and he said that sororities are not legal in Pennsylvania because of that law that states that they're a brothel.
Wow. I thought for sure they would be like at Penn State. They had sororities and shit.
There probably is frat houses, but not sororities.
Yeah. I do know frat houses in Penn State because I know there's been quite a few that have gotten in some massive trouble.
Yeah.
But I just assumed. Yeah, it's just one of those
Somehow
It's
not
like-
surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought there was one called I Felt a Thigh.
Ah,
That was I stole that. I didn't come up with that. That was
that's okay.
stupid,
It was
too.
still pretty funny. I never heard it.
Yeah.
You
That
could've
was
lied.
Stewie. Stewie says it. Could he when Brian goes back to college or something, then Stewie's sitting there in the yard with talking to girls and he's like, yes, I just joined a fraternity. It's called I Felt a Thigh.
Mm.
Okay. That was a great way to end the show.
Yeah, I was just gonna
If
say. I
that's
guess-
if we are ending, I don't know. Are we ending?
no,
How-
yeah, we've been about 2 hours in, so
we're
we
about
might as
two.
well-
Okay.
Might as
Yeah.
well end it now, and I don't know. Do we have more? Do we need to initiate a part 3, or are we just gonna move on to
that's
the next thing?
I think we might go ahead and move on. I feel like we hit the summer blockbusters. We probably could have done more like box office numbers, but nah, that'll take a lot of getting into. I think we've pretty much tapped our blockbuster bone.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
next thing we can talk about, we can either do one of those games that I had mentioned to you, like called,
Yeah.
the Angry Rant game or whatever, or maybe I can just do it at the top of the show, talk to you about that theory that
Oh
you need to learn
yes.
about.
Yes. We'll do the theory next episode.
I don't know if it's whole episode worthy, but it is wild.
Yeah. I feel like we could probably stretch it.
But I will. So I will forward it with this.
Yes.
It is called the Kuehl theory.
Kuehl?
Kuehl or Quill, but it's Q-U-I-L.
Q-U-I-L. Okay. I don't want to Google it because I don't want it to pop up or anything. So.
Right. So
Yeah.
what it is the cutting edge. The advances in the field are occurring at an unheard pace. The recovery of the world economy may very well depend on the science of finding a productive way of harnessing the Kuehl.
So
All right, the idea
future of
was
the
So the idea of it was to lampoon the terrible search engine capabilities of the Kuehl search engine while providing a functionally stimulating idea of the interrelationship between tangential things, and the result was the following exchange, which is the theory. And it basically was saying that let's make a Kuehl a unit of measurement. So one Kuehl equals one level of abstraction away from the reality of a situation.
Yeah, we might
Okay,
have to do this is much smarter than me.
Dude, it's not. I promise you. You're literally going to be like, "What the fuck?" I'm not even going to link this because I want to read it to you and hear you react in real time.
It
is wild.
Yeah, this already this is like way over my head.
It's not.
Like it just sounds like a bunch of gobbledygook right now.
I promise you, when I start reading it, you're going to be like, "What the fuck?" The prompt is simple. The prompt is you asked me for a hamburger. That's what it is.
Oh, okay.
In every level of Kuehl, so it goes from 1 to 7.
Okay.
All right. And every level is different.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's very bizarre.
I don't know, man. Yeah, this sounds like I'm gonna have to take some Excedrin before we start. Just like a preemptive headache cure.
Maybe I should just read it to you now.
I'd rather you not.
It's so fucking weird, though. Like,
I mean, in all honesty, it's just, we're just 5 days away from talking about it. So, allegedly,
let me tell you this: you can let it. You can feel free to deny it if you want, but
I'm going to deny it already. I'm denying.
I can read you the first 4 because it won't take very long.
Okay.
And then the last 3 are long.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
this is all starting with saying I want a hamburger.
So no. Yeah. So you ask. So here's the example.
Okay.
You asked me for a hamburger. Okay. At 1 Kuehl, if you ask me for a hamburger and I give you a raccoon.
What?
Okay. At 2 Kuehls, you asked me for a hamburger, but it turns out I don't really exist. Where I was originally standing, a picture of a hamburger rests on the ground.
Oh my god.
At 3 Kuehls, you awake as a hamburger. You start screaming, only to have a special sauce fly from your lips. The world is in sepia.
Holy hell.
Okay. 4 Kuehls. Why are we speaking German? A mime cries softly as he cradles a young cow. Your grandfather stares at you as the cow falls apart into patties. You look down only to see me with pickles for eyes. I am singing the song that gives you birth to the universe.
Who in the fuck thought of this? Like, where is this coming from? This is so weird.
It's so fucked up, dude. That was only 4 kills.
Oh my
You don't even want to know. 7 kills is fucking wild.
It's already wild. It was wild at 1. To tell you I want a hamburger and you give me a raccoon?
Like I said,
I don't even understand. This is weird.
It's one level of abstraction away from the reality of the situation. So you take, if you ask me for a hamburger and I give you a raccoon, you'd be like, wow, what the fuck? That's not even what I asked for. That's at 1 kill. But at 4 kills, that's, I have pickles for eyes and I'm singing you the song that gives birth to the universe.
Yeah, while a mime is weeping about holding a dead cow.
A young cow.
A young cow.
And your grandfather stares at you and the cow falls apart into patties.
I'm already going to hate this next episode.
Dude, just 7 kills. The last thing that it says in the paragraph under 7 kills is they hand you a hot dog.
Well, I like that part. I mean, I still would be okay.
But everything that happens...
But I don't...
It's so fucking weird.
I just want a goddamn hamburger. I'm already pissed off. This is pissing me off.
So it says, apparently people thought this was an interesting way to consider the relationships between objects. It's an attempt to explain how exactly the Kuehl theory is intended to work, so that in the future we can rate the world on a scale of strangeness and surrealism that actually fits a standard.
Oh my god.
So for all intents and purposes, the Kuehl is represented by an interrobang. Do you know what an interrobang is?
Of course I don't.
Okay, an interrobang is a question mark and an exclamation point in one.
Okay.
That's because the interrobang is fearsome, awesome, and not in use for mathematical reasons.
Can we have a substitute come in next week? Like an understudy? Like I'll tap out for the next episode. I'll have somebody else come in for my place because I already feel like I'm going to absolutely hate this episode.
It says, I propose that 0 Kuehl or absolute Kuehl, 0 Kuehl. I ask for a hamburger. You give me the epitome of all hamburgers to the most objective detail. Observers in a state of perfect Kuehl are often introduced to the phenomenon known as the Kuehl paradox, where the hamburger asked/given the ratio is near 1-to-1, that the observer begins to doubt the reality, suspecting that the hamburger was an artifact of their manufactured memories. Then, in fact, they would be as far from the absolute Kuehl as possible.
I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. No clue.
If I give you a hamburger and it is so all right, you remember that episode of Rick and Morty where he decides to be like, you want to know what true level is? And he makes them stand on true level.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Imagine that. You ask me for a hamburger and I give you the most perfect hamburger. It's so perfect in every capacity that you start to doubt that I have ever even given you one in the first place. That would be absolute Kuehl.
Okie dokie.
We have a week to ponder.
Oh, I'm already dreading it.
I'm not. I can't wait.
It's going to be basically you just talking and me going, oh my God. Like,
dude,
oh my God.
Like, it's just so bizarre.
This is something that never even... None of this stuff is something that's even crossed any space of my memory or mind or anything. I have no clue. This is going to be hell.
Oh, they even have like poems and...
Oh, I'm sure they do.
So weird.
Yeah. Sounds it. I don't know, man. Maybe you can do that. You'll do your talking, then I'll do part 3 of movies. You'll talk about Kuehls and everything. I'll be like, anyway,
it's just
Whatever.
very bizarre.
Yeah.
The shaving.
Okay. There it is.
All right, guys. I guess we'll see you on the other side.
Peace.
Juice.